I am very disappointed. I am not surprised at all. There's a reason why a couple months ago I made a detailed video talking about the incoming decline of the virtual YouTuber community. The premise was simple. While we still may in the future, which is technically right now even because that video was 2 months ago, let me get back to it, while in the future we will still see highlight moments and plenty of good times and achievements, the wholesome, united community that we once had is fractured and it will never return. And that's factually been correct. Even a couple days after I made that video, there were people talking about policing the community and removing people that they deem problematic. Now let me show you a tweet from Shizu that has over 1,400 likes. And that's why I want to show you this one particularly. I'll show you the source, the images in this tweet in a moment. But for now, just know that this has 1,400 likes. And here's what it says from Shizu. I said it before, and I will say it again. Woke EN VTubers are absolute cancer. And you are the ones giving a bad face to VTubers, not the lolis. They are already a core part of anything anime-related. And if you don't like that fact, get oofed. So before we go any further, let me establish a couple things right here. As you can see, the problem comes down to loli VTubers apparently, and other VTubers not liking those VTubers because they look like lolis. And look, if they didn't like them, that's totally fine. But these people are taking it a lot further. They're not just not liking them and keeping it to themselves, They are actively witch hunting these people and trying to cancel them. Someone else has gone so far as to tag Hololive in an attempt to deplatform Matsuri, which I plan on covering in a follow-up segment, so please stay tuned for that one. At the moment right now, I want to focus on the community as a whole. Yes, let me also mention this. This is something I've said in the past multiple times, so those of you who have been with me for a while know that I've said this, and that is this. I am personally not a fan of the loli type characters. I'm not a fan of the loli stuff at all. It's not my cup of tea. I prefer anime girls like Haruko right behind me, you know, nice long legs, and well, Spike Spiegel has a good quote. I was going to say I like an anime girl. Oh, that's not Spike's quote. Spike's quote is, I love a woman that can kick my ass. Now, I don't go that far. I mean, if she can, I don't mind. That's pretty cool. But I won't go out of my way to find a girl that can. The point is, I like a more mature woman, and that's the point I'm getting at, I suppose. That said, just because I don't like the loli stuff doesn't mean I'm going to go witch hunt people who do, and I never have done that, obviously. So when I see people that do take it that far, I get very disgusted. The morality police, the virtue signaling, the trying to destroy other people is really gross to me. I think if you don't like someone, you should try to make yourself better than they are, build yourself up, and that's really a better approach than trying to tear them down. But that's not what's going on here. And to make it even worse, some of these VTubers going after other VTubers, they are not even actually VTubers. They have it in the title, but they don't actually produce content, and they want to police the community? Is this a joke? Unfortunately, no, it's not. I'd like to mention one more thing before I go on to show you some of the examples, and I apologize that this part is such a long discussion. I actually didn't think it was going to be this long, but here's the next point I want to make, and again, something I've said in the past as well. These people are trying to say that these loli characters are problematic and stuff like that. As someone who actually follows crime statistics, as someone who has gone around helping homeless people and working with homeless outreach programs and helping victims and this sort of thing around LA County, I can tell you, and I look up crime stats around the world, by the way, like Scotland and Australia and around the UK. If you really care about children and things happening to them that are not good things, please turn your attention to some of the countries I just mentioned, because they have legitimate problems that are so much worse than what you're spending your time and energy on. If you actually care about helping kids, then please actually do something to help kids. Okay, now some examples of people going after loli VTubers, acting like they're doing some great justice for the world, while kids are actually, you know, as I mentioned, the problems are actually occurring as I speak right now. Terrible, terrible things. Anyways, here's what this weirdo says. Hi, at Kyoto and at Moko Peach, just letting both of you disgusting humans know that you can pack up and leave. The VTuber community has no room for individuals that look like lolis or children or child-appearing people. Wow, I cannot believe how bold and completely egotistical you have to be to say something like that. The VTuber community has no room for individuals. Who are you to police the community? They then add, I genuinely do not care if anyone gets hurt over me directly calling these two out. Spread their names, tag them in conversations, make sure everyone knows what they are doing and why they are not welcome. Also, I'm not saying we should hijack at Kyoto art, but if the shoe fits. Now, I'm not 100% sure what that part is about. I can assume the hashtag is for people that want to send that VTuber art, though. And so they're trying to get this VTuber canceled. They're trying to hijack their own fan art tag, if I'm right about that. And to make it all that much worse, they act like they're the good guys as they sit on moral high ground trying to destroy other people. The reality is, these are just miserable people, overt authoritarians on some kind of power trip. Next example, this tweet reads, "The amount of loli and childlike VTubers in the community right now and the support they're getting is appalling. It's fine to be a loli who isn't off-branding themselves, but when that's supposed to be their entire character/lore, I'm surprised people support it. I don't want to start a witch hunt or harassment or anything, which is why I said no names. I just want people to be more aware of who they're retweeting and supporting, because from multiple replies/DMs, quite a few people didn't even realize what it was supposed to be." Now, it's hard for me to take a hard stance on this one because I don't know exactly what they're talking about, so I'm not going to say too much here, but it seems relevant enough to include, and I believe this was also a part of Shizu's images. Apologies if I'm wrong about that. Let's move on to the next one, though. This person has some language I won't be able to show on the screen capture, but right below that, they say, "Look closer at what you are supporting. Please don't give us VTubers a bad face. This is just the beginning for us." And then they add this: "Please fill out this form to get them out of our community." What do you think you're going to accomplish with some form? You think you can police the community? Again, let me restate now that I don't like the loli stuff at all. I don't like it at all. But you are so out of line here to go after people trying to police and cancel and ruin other people. This is taking things way too far and power tripping. As I said, if you don't like these loli VTubers, fine, then do something better. And if they're so bad, then maybe people won't support them anyways. But you won't even make an attempt. You're not even debuted yet. It says January debut. How is it possible that VTubers who haven't debuted, and let me be very clear, I'm not trying to drag any up-and-coming VTubers who have not debuted. These people in particular I'm talking about because they're trying to cancel others and, like I said, ruin what they have going on. It's terrible to do that anyways, but it seems especially terrible when you haven't even debuted yet. Like, it doesn't justify it, even if they have debuted. Let me be clear on that. It's still terrible, as I said. I'm repeating myself now. It just seems extra baffling to me that people who haven't even debuted are acting like they're some sort of VTuber with a golden halo and everyone has voted them to be like the arbiter of truth in the VTuber community or something like that. And for the record, I'm not an arbiter of the VTuber community either. I'm just a dude with a mic talking about my opinion on things. And in my opinion, you guys are way out of line here. All right, and I'm going to end with this. Normally, when someone is getting unfairly witch hunted, I have gone out of my way to promote them, like Sakimi-chan or the artist Milk, etc., etc. Now, in this particular situation, they are going after general loli VTubers, but there's one in particular that they seem to be going after. However, I'm still not going to go out of my way to promote that person because they've bent the knee on some level to the people witch hunting them. And there's also apparently some sort of legal dispute that they were involved with or something. There's someone talking about a lawyer because they were tracing art, so some sort of copyright stuff going on. And the person accused of it, this loli VTuber, says that the issue was already resolved, implying to me that this is not something made up. It was a legitimate issue at some point on some level. And the other person is kind of acting like it's not resolved yet. So this is a whole mess I'm not going to get involved with. So if you want to go out of your way to find that VTuber and support her, by all means, go ahead. Do your thing. Do what you want to do. I'll do what I want to do. And that's really it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you soon for the Matsuri segment, maybe in about an hour.